Good afternoon. My name is Sorel Dominique, and I am new to hosting. This is a new this is a new dialogue. I started this channel to really talk about things relating for people from my country, from Haiti and the diaspora. And I decided to do this video in English, which is kind of, I think that might become a dynamic now because initially I created two videos and I wanted to create them only in English. And this one, for some reason, I could not see myself do it in Creole. And I said, hey, let's just do it in English. Reason? I wanted to have a broader audience understand what I'm saying. I wasn't just speaking to people from Haiti, so I figure it makes sense to make the video in English to speak with an audience that, because English is such a popular language, more people will understand it. And I hope it works. I hope I accomplish that. If you see some of the videos that I post make any, resonate with you, subscribe. If you want me to create more videos, comment. If you want to reach out in the comment, please do so. This is a conversation I'm going to have, and I will do it. Most of my videos are going to be in Creole. However, that's more specific Haitian Creole. I will do some English video every now and then, and I hope to communicate with as many people as possible. This is a dialogue. My videos are going to be more conversation between myself and other people. So I want to send this out here on this video because this is a multiple parts video. This is part one. I would like to do a part two, maybe that should close it. And within the part two, I'd like to bring someone with common sense who is someone in the diaspora from the Dominican Republic, because this video is going to be about what's going on with the Haitian diaspora in the Dominican Republic. This monologue is going to shed some light to help myself and help others understand where this thing comes from, where the dynamic that we see unfolding in the Dominican Republic between the Dominican Republic and the Haitian migrant come from. So this dialogue is going to help better understand that and look at it in context. And I would like to have an invitation of somebody from my community, the Haitian community, and someone from the Dominican community, kind of go at it and have a conversation amicably, of course, to discuss this following this monologue that I'm about to start. As I said before, this video is about what's happening currently in the Dominican Republic with Haitian migrants who were forced to flee out of their home country, Haiti, some because of the gang violence happening in the country, and others because of poverty, and others because of other reasons. However, though, we know that poverty and the gang violence kind of amplify and increase the amount of people that ended up having to leave the country. They are all over the world now. Haitians are having to leave Haiti and migrate to countries that they probably never have migrated before. So this video is about that. What prompted my interest in speaking about this video is something that I saw, a link someone sent to me where I was looking at what was happening. Someone filmed, I don't know if it was a journalist, I'm not sure who it was, but someone filmed some of a snapshot of how the arrest, how the hunting of the Haitian migrant is happening in the Dominican Republic. And I decided I was kind of forced to say something about it because I just started this channel. Again, this is a new channel, and I want to kind of say that this again. This channel is really going to gear toward having conversation with other um, Haitians in the diaspora. This video is different because it's in English and this is part one, and I would like to do part two with someone from my country and someone from the Dominican Republic to have a better conversation about this. Now, this is not a video that's going to say anything negative about anyone, but at least it's going to help understand better that relationship. To start, let's talk about myself for a little bit, why this resonates with me. My background includes both Haiti and the Dominican Republic. And that my grandfather actually migrated from Dominican Republic to Haiti. And everyone would be like, oh my God, I didn't know people do that. Oh, yes, there are many Haitians who migrated from the Dominican Republic to Haiti. As a matter of fact, when I was in school in Haiti, my Spanish teacher was a teacher who migrated from the Dominican Republic and teach in Haiti, who teach me Spanish when I was in secondary school in Haiti. Also, my grandfather was born in 1920. If you look at Haiti in 1920, it was much more prosperous. It was a much better place to live back in 1920. If my grandfather was alive today, he would have been 104, but he died at 76. But my grandfather, my great grandmother, my grandfather's mother left Haiti when my grandfather was months old. He wasn't even a year old. And they migrated to Haiti because the family was in the textile business. They used to buy textile and sell it wholesale. And for that reason, Haiti was just a better place for them to move. And my grandmother ended up having other children in Haiti, but they all speak Spanish. My grandfather, even though migrated years later as an adult from Haiti to Canada, still speaks Spanish. Came here to the United States, speak fluent Spanish even at an old age. So that gave me an interest in my entire life to understand deeply the history of my country, Haiti, and the Dominican Republic, and the relation that the two people has. But what I know all along is the dynamic of the people living in Haiti is not different from the dynamic of people living in Dominican Republic. But history split the two countries' understanding of who they are. And let me put that in perspective. Remember, this is a video about the migrant treatment. But what I'm talking about is the history behind the two countries, which would kind of give a better clarity at understanding who we are and how we get to where we are today. In 1804, Haiti, we all know, was the only country in the hemisphere, in the world, defeated colonialism. That means something. But Haiti was right next to the Dominican Republic. The Dominican Republic did not do that. They did not defeat colonialism. The Dominican Republic were always regarded as a country that taught, hey, you could be free one day, and then you could be taken from Africa one day, and then the person who took you from Africa can simply decided that they no longer can live with themselves, holding you a slave, and just sent you free. That's what happened in many countries in the Americas. Haiti was the only country that actually did not settle for that. Haiti decided that this idea of freedom meant something different for the Haitian. So the Haitian knew that they had to fight for that freedom. Little did the Haitian know that that fight was not going to last 10 years because the Haitian back then believed in 1804 that the country was free. Big mistake. I have news for you, my friend. In 1804, the war changed the colonial French and other countries that were participating in the slave trade, they changed their strategy because they realized they could not by force regain power back into Haiti. Then the Haitian thought, hey, we won that war, the war that you fight with weapons, sword, and guns, and so on. But what they did not know is that that war was going to continue till today. I said it. The war that the people that were kidnapped out of Africa, that went to the island of Haiti, fought and won in 1804, they thought that war was over, but that war just started. A new war just started. And what was that war? That war was the residue of the concept of who's superior and who's inferior that the colonialists, the colonialism had practiced for hundreds of years. And what ended up happening is while Haiti had the chance to remove the French from their society, Dominican Republic never did that. So from the perspective of the United States, from the perspective of France, from the perspective of Spain, Dominican Republic was a much friendlier place. So from the very beginning, Dominican Republic was free to export. And that is something you can see till today. The Dominican Republic, for example, a country of over 11 million people living in Dominican Republic, it's still a poor country. However, people in the West will very quickly try to show you the difference between Haiti and the Dominican Republic. And I always ask myself why they do that. As a Haitian, I have everything but pride. My grandfather taught me that. My grandfather knew both the Haitian history and the Dominican history. My grandfather knew that he preferred to be called Haitian versus Dominican. Not that there's anything wrong with being called Dominican, but there was something prideful about a group of people who decided they decided to fight to earn their freedom. The only problem is Haitians today are fooled to believe that our forefathers fight for that freedom, and they got complicit. And while they live a complicit life, the aggressor continued to fight against the Haitian. I would love for someone to come up and tell me that I'm wrong, that from 1804, the French has done everything they can to destroy Haiti. Everything. They fought tooth and nail. But as they were fighting, the Haitian did not fight back. The French were very successful planting president after president after president until Duvalier. Yes, Duvalier was a president supported by France and the United States. Don't act surprised if you hear that. I'm surprised you don't hear more people. Now, I'm saying this as if this is news. This is not news. If you want to know whether or not the French were behind the Duvalier, let's look at two presidents back in our history. Two presidents who had to leave Haiti. Then you will know who put them in Haiti. Let's look at President Jean-Bertrand Aristide, and let's look at President Jean-Claude Duvalier. When Jean-Claude Duvalier left power, when Jean-Claude Duvalier was forced to leave the country, overnight, an airplane came to pick him up. Who picked Jean-Claude Duvalier up, and where was Jean-Claude Duvalier's money, and which country did Jean-Claude Duvalier flew into and live comfortably for years? was France. It's no surprise that someone who was so bad, someone who was the son of a dictator, the French have always been behind Jacques Duvalier. The French were behind a whole lot of other presidents since 1804. Remember, if we know our history, in 1804, after the Dessalines won the war, after Toussaint Louverture was taken prisoner in France and Dessalines become the leader, he was assassinated. Who do you think orchestrated his assassination after imprisoned Toussaint Louverture? It was the French. And who do you think helped them? It was people sympathetic to the French in the Dominican Republic. The Dominican Republic has always been a place used to undermine the Haitians. That doesn't mean the Dominican Republic people have been part of that. But there is always this easier access to the part that has colonial residue. The Dominican Republic have a higher level of colonial residue than Haiti. And that is something you have to keep under perspective. I opened this here. Till today, the Dominican Republic still have about 18% of the people in the Dominican Republic. It could be 20, but let's say that's what's recorded. About 18% of the people in the Dominican Republic consider themselves white. That's 18% of the people that never mix themselves with the slave. Those people are hardcore. They think they are from Spain. And if they think they're Spain, they think they are European. They see themselves more European than Caribbean, than anything else. Now let's break it down to the rest of the Dominican. The Dominican was successfully trying to whitewash the country, try to whiten or lighten the skin of the country. They were one of the highly successful countries. That was a practice done primarily by the Spaniard and the French. If you look at Haiti right now, Haiti is a country with over 90%, but 95% of all Haitians look kind of like me or a different version of brown. And when those Haitians come to the United States, there's no question that I consider myself to be a black man, and every other Haitian who looks like me and even lighter than me consider themselves to be black. Even the mulatto out of Haiti, they might consider themselves something other than black when they are in Haiti. But when they come to the United States, they consider themselves black. However, the Dominican, with over 74%, about 74% of the Dominican consider themselves mixed. And if you look at the way that a Dominican see themselves in the spectrum of color, remember, this whole idea is ridiculous anyway, but the Dominican themselves, they do not want to refer to, a majority of them do not want to be referred to as anything other than Dominican, but they have no problem if if they look lighter skin, they're referred to as white. They're like that. But as a country, the culture really accept the fact that if your skin is light, then a Dominican want to be referred to as white. But if your skin is too dark, don't dare call a Dominican black. And you see that from a big example, Sammy Sosa, who after playing baseball, changed his skin color. Again, what this call is to really understand where this thing comes from between the Haitians and the Dominican. So the Haitians represented is this version. The Haitian forever always represented this thing that the Dominican wanted to get rid of. And what was that? The Dominican, they were strategically saying that they think their country would be a better country if they eliminate the idea of somebody who's black. So they brainwashed the Dominican mind to believe that they are not black. And it makes perfect sense. It was easy for the Dominican to accept because if you go back in history, you get to see that being black was always something associated with a disadvantage that is not unique to the Dominican Republic. It's unique to Haiti. It's unique to the United States and any other country in the world, including Africa, because the European utilized the power that they have to create this whole concept of race. But the European committed the ultimate sin by enslaving other human beings, primarily other human beings out of the continent of Africa. So when the European kidnap people out of Africa and bring them to this new world for the purpose of making money, they had to create something to justify that act. And what they did was calling the people that they picked up out of Africa, that they kidnapped out of Africa, they called them, they were not fully human. And in the society everywhere, let me go take it back to Haiti and Dominican Republic, they assign certain privileges to people based on skin color. First, if you look at it from black and white, if you're white, you can own someone who's black. But if you're black, even if you're a free man living in some of these places, they would take you and force you into slavery. Now, as the population of people that were half or a quarter, whatever percentages of black and white started to grow, countries like Haiti and Dominican Republic had to come up with a new plan. And what they did, they start assigning a different level of privilege. Say you can get this, if you don't get that, you can get this, but all the privileges, the lighter the skin that you are, the more privilege you have. And in the darker the skin, the less you have, until you're just so dark, you just have to be outside in the sugarcane plantation or the coffee plantation. Those were the two most cultivated crop and during the colonial time in Haiti. And Haiti also, not just the island that called Haiti today, the entire Santo Domingo or Saint-Domingue was extremely profitable for both Spain and the French. Haiti, during the slavery time, was so profitable for them that they could not keep the slave long enough in Haiti. The slaves were dying from overworking, and they had to go back to Africa constantly taking new slaves. Hence, the reason why the Haitians were so fresh out of Africa, they were constantly escaping, becoming what you call maroons. Today people talking about maroon, but that stands for somebody who just took off as a slave and get away and live in the mountains somewhere. And those are the people that were behind the independence of Haiti, which is something I'd have another talk about. But this is to help understand why what's going on in Dominican Republic today is valuable and where that comes from. So the Dominican society, to go back to them, wanted to get rid of the idea of an African-looking person in their country. But there were so many African-looking Dominican, then they encouraged mixed breeding of the Dominican population. Now, the poor whites in Dominican Republic were always very close to the slave because they live close approximation, and that's something you see in the United States. Poor whites were very close to the slaves. The United States did something different. That's a whole other conversation. The United States actually did not want the poor white to get so close. But the Dominican Republic abolished slavery way before the United States. As once they abolished slavery, they did no longer feel safe living with the African slave. Makes perfect sense. The African slave right next door killed every French in Haiti and chopped their head, burned their houses. So the slave really did some horrific revenge to the French. Again, that's another call. This is not what I'm talking about in this one, but let's look at that concept here. The Dominican understand they're safer with somebody who's mixed with them. So they made a conscious decision to whiten the lighten the skin of the people living in the island. Those people were very similar to the Haitians even in Haiti. Till today, many Dominican, many Haitians, especially the educated one, the one who understand the history, they treat each other as if they're brothers and sisters. So even though you see all these things happening in the Dominican Republic, I never really know, I never experienced, there's no way on earth someone could make me believe that Dominican Republic, people living in Dominican Republic, hate people living in Haiti. That's not the case. Dominican and Haitian always know that they're brothers. It doesn't take too much education for a Dominican to understand that there were, at one time we were all living in the island together, and then it split after the Haitian independence. However, the population, the 70 plus, the 74% of the people living in the Dominican Republic, I think 78%, I'm sorry, the 78% of the people living in the Dominican Republic who consider themselves mixed, there were the people that were successfully able, and that's a majority of the country, they were successfully able to remove the idea that they were Black from them. And it worked, because those people will be insulted today in the Dominican if you call them Black. Now imagine if you have the majority of the people in the country participated in the biggest race erasure possible in the Americas to lighten the skin of the people who were African descent, and they successfully did that, and also to brainwash those people and continue a practice where you have a society that assign privilege and advantages to people of a lighter skin tone. It makes perfect sense that anyone under that system would prefer for their skin to be lighter. Let's not forget, it's not just the privilege that you get. We also have the entire European society, including the United States and Canada, pushing the idea of everything that is white is better. Have you ever asked yourself, with a superior texture of hair of people of African descent, and yes, I say it, a group of people out of Africa with a superior texture of hair, why is it that today, when you turn on your TV, all the influential Black people, predominantly women today, have wigs or perm their hair? Ask yourself that. Because if you look at a human being and you say, you're going to be human, you're going to be working on Earth, and you're looking at the atmosphere, the ecosystem on Earth, how do you think you would make a human hair to be? The way biologically that an African descent hair textured is the ideal hair that you can have. Is the hair that we all should inspire to have as human. Unfortunately, that's not the case for people who actually have naturally able to grow hair that you would call either kinky or small curl. They would prefer a straight hair similar to a European hair. Ask yourself that. Why is that? And the excuse to that is, oh, you can't comb your hair, you can't run a comb through it. When was nature, do you see any animal combing their hair? The creature that we are, our hair was never supposed to comb. Our hair is not supposed to be pulled from its root. However, though, human being, we are able to tell ourselves that what nature provided, whether you're a religion, you can call it God. If you're not religion, you call it nature. The African men and women decided that the hair that was given to them naturally wasn't good enough. They want to change it. But that came from this idea of everything that we inherited from Africa was negative. But it wasn't just something that the European wanted to believe, but the European pushed propaganda out to encourage and lie to us to make us want it to be like them. But it's easy to do when you are a group of people lacking power, impoverished, or enslaved by another group because you have no power. And even after slavery, I remember being in Haiti hundreds of years after slavery, reading books about the four colors of the people in the world. Till today, when I think about this, I'm angry. So when I was a child, I studied about the four colors of the people in the world: white, yellow, red, black. And that sequence is not by accident. At the top of the pyramid was people from Europe. Down was yellow, that's everyone in Asia, including Japan and Korea and China. And then people out of India or people in the US, the native people that lives in the Americas would consider the red. And then at the very bottom was African descent, um, and there were the black people. And I was learning that in school. So the idea of someone being darker, being melanated at the level of the African melanin level, the Dominican society never wanted that. That's why there's such a high level of people mixed in the Dominican Republic. It wasn't done by accident. It was by design. So if the people that are offspring of these mixture of the European descent and the African descent did after come up to this system, recognize that there were privilege, there were advantages giving to the lighter skin version of themselves, and then there were hardship giving to the darker skin of themselves. It makes perfect sense for them to hate the African in them. And now come the Haitians. The Haitians represent a pure aspect of who the Dominican once was. Also, the Haitian represent an image that the Dominican know that they wanted to abolish in their country. In what world will the Dominican accept to have mass migration of people who look like they straight come from Africa? The Dominican never liked the African in themselves. Now, most Dominican would hate to admit that, but it's no secret. Even in the Dominican Republic, here in Haiti, and here in the United States, it's not a secret that Dominican Republic and the American and the United States society do not want for people to refer to them as being black. The Dominican do not like for anyone to refer to them as being black. You will never find a Haitian who looks like me or looks mixed have a problem with being called black. Even though we know we didn't create that race, even though we know that's not a race, even though we know that was a man-made construct to keep us down, but we understand that if you want to talk about someone with a level of melanin of the people out of Africa, we understand that connection and we are okay with being somebody with African descent, not someone from the Dominican Republic from that 78%, not from that 74%. I'm sorry, I keep saying 77. Not from that 74% of the mixed people in the Dominican Republic. Now, there might be a few, I have to admit, who study the history enough and understand who they are, but the majority of the country do not want to be referred to as being black. Now, that's not only the mixed people, even the Dominican Republic, darker than I am, would rather tell you that, oh, I'm Dominican, I'm not black. And they're thinking that when you say black, you mean American, but it's a lie. They know when you say black, if you don't put the word American behind it, you're talking about someone who looks like me. So when I saw the video earlier today, what I did see, I did not see soldiers arresting migrants doing a job that they were told to do, but they were doing it reluctantly because this is the way soldiers are supposed to arrest people. It is not a pleasant thing to arrest someone. Even if you're arresting someone who committed a heinous crime, there's no joy when you find yourself even as a police officer, even as a soldier, when you're arresting someone who have done something bad, it is not a joyful moment. What I did see from that video that prompted me, what I did from that shots of video of they were showing Dominican Republic police or immigration officers running and capturing Haitian migrants fleeing from gang violence out of Haiti. I saw pure joy. I saw a group of police officers having fun. And I asked myself, what else would go on in someone's mind to have fun traumatizing another group if that other group represents something you hate about yourself? You would have no problem destroying that person because that's an act that proves that you're destroying something about yourself. You're destroying something about you that you also don't like. So I fully understand why the Dominican Republic is not the Dominican Republic society will never be comfortable having too many Haitians because they've for 200 years they've been struggling trying to whitewash the country. They cannot afford to have so many more people that looks like that come into the country. What are they going to do? Try to whitewash them again? They don't want to do that. They clearly want to be a country without people that looks like they come from Africa. And I always warn people, you want to go to Dominican Republic, money is a big factor. You know, if you're black and you come from the United States, you're speaking English, of course, you know, you would find the Dominican being nice to you. But that doesn't mean they prefer you. That does not mean they like who you are if you're a Black American or if you're Haitian. No, they don't like that in you. They'll like your money, they'll take your money. But that doesn't mean they like who you are. Now, that also doesn't mean that they hate you, because what I just illustrate is not about you. So that's why I never would tell you that the Dominican hate the Haitian. What I am saying is that they hate the fact that they themselves have black in them, and they hate the black within them. And they express that hatred toward other people who look like them, who appear to be more melanated in a negative way, because they can't stand the idea that they themselves have genetic of African in them. This is all I have to say. This is how I understand. I understand what's going on in the Dominican Republic. And if I miss something, please leave me a message. If you want to participate in that conversation, the future conversation I hope to have for the part 2 of this video, feel free to reach out to me and I will schedule this video as soon as possible. I would like to have a conversation with someone who lives in Haiti and someone who comes from Dominican Republic, and to put some light into this. And I would like to see this person even telling me what I just say is not true, because I know my history. I know the Dominican Republic partly of their history, and I understand where we come from, and I understand why things have to be done this way. We are both victims, both the Dominican Republic and the Haitian. We're just dealing with it differently, and then we're just in a different path of our journey. But don't mistake one as a victim versus the other. That's just that's just the way it is. And I hope more people understand what I just say. And I hope one day people can take a deeper look at themselves in the mirror and start figuring out how to love 100% of who they are, whether it is part African or part European, part Asian, or part whatever it is about you. I hope one day we don't have a society that encourage people to hate a certain part of who they are. And that's all I have. Thank you.